Hi guys, welcome back for another one. Today's video is all about how you guys can get yourself Deathpool 4 stars for free, no money needed. I've been doing these tips and tricks as part of my channel for well over 2 years now, so it's safe to say that this is a sure thing if you're able to do everything I tell you in this video. So you're ready for all these tips and tricks, you know what to do. Sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Alright guys, to kick this off, I'm going to go in game here. I'm also going to combine what would usually be 2 separate videos into one here, as I would normally make a separate video of how you not waste your power cores in an event campaign, especially one that's highly desirable like Deathpool. It's been a while. Kestrel was the last one where people really wanted to go crazy, so let me explain that too as part of this video. But first, for those of you guys that may be new here or don't know how event campaigns work, let's jump into that first. Now, Deathpool's event campaign is starting on Friday. Not a whole lot of time to prep. Sorry guys, if I could give you more time, I would. The other cool thing about this one is there's going to be a milestone running simultaneously with this event. And you can see right there, they're going to give us miasmas. So this sounds like an event you definitely want to pay attention to once it's in the game to be able to grind out that milestone to be able to get those miasmas. Because hopefully it's substantial. Like 61 substantial. Anyways, let's jump into the shadow of Deathpool. So this is the event campaign. It will unlock Friday at game reset. Some of you guys, it might be Saturday for you overseas, but this is the best, most friendly event or release, basically a character release in the game. Flat out, nothing gets easier or better than this. You just need to save up cores. Now, I get asked a lot, how many cores do I need to save for one of these events? Well, I can't give you an exact number because I don't know where you fall in arena. I don't know how much gold you spend for power cores. I don't know how much campaign energy you spend to get more power cores. Like, there's plenty of ways to get power cores in this game, and I don't know where you fall in the spectrum. So it's hard for me to give you a number because every day we are all earning power cores, and the more power cores you earn in a day, obviously the less you need to save up. But here are some numbers to go by. I find they're kind of safe. 2,500 if you're only going to do 50 core refreshes, which I'll get into here shortly. And if you choose to do the 100 core refreshes, I really recommend you have 4,000. If you have way more than that, you're probably safe to do one of the other methods I'm going to tell you later in this video. But anyways, why this is so easy, the easy and medium campaign, they have dropped all character requirements, which means as a newish player, depending on when you started this game, if you've seen an event campaign before, you're probably above level 60 because at level 60 you tend to get there in like a month. If you joined Marvel Strike Force after Sharon Carter and you weren't part of that event, most likely you're not getting to the hard campaign here on this very first one. My method will still help you get as many shards possible, but I can't guarantee you the 4-star. For the guaranteed 4-star, you have to be able to follow my method to the T. And once again, I will explain also how you can gamble yourself for a 5-star, give yourself the best odds of doing so, but that method is not guaranteed. Very important to put in there. But anyways, so the hard campaign, they have not changed this since the launch of the game. It is still squad level 60, gear tier 9, ability level 5. The older your characters are, the more above this you're going to want to be. So if you have some older characters, you're going to want to be above level 60 for that character, above tier 9, and above ability level 5, which I usually consider this as like 6664. Newer characters, which are going to be some of my most recommended characters I'm going to show you guys here later, you probably can ride this line pretty closely and have a fun time, or an auto time I should say. Yeah, so that's where it falls recommendation wise. Depending on the characters you're bringing, is going to depend on how much you should really invest in them. And as far as the devoted trait, I will get into this here shortly and along with recommendations of the characters. But yes, to do the hard campaign, you not only have to be above level 60, you also have to have 5 characters with this tag. Alright, and this event's not live, so I can't show you how to farm each node using that campaign. So I'm going to use the ISO campaign as a replica of what you need to do every day. So when the event goes live, what you want to try to do is clear off the entire hard campaign. If you are level 60, you can go in and at least do the very first node of the hard campaign. Trust me, you want to do this. They usually give you the characters you need to use. You don't need your own. So if you are that level, you can just do it even if you don't have the devoted characters, which is not a bad thing. It does give you a decent amount of shards. But outside that, you want to try to push as far as you can the hard campaign. If you can't do the hard campaign, do the medium campaign. Hopefully, most of you guys watching this video are able in a situation to do that. If not, just do as much as you possibly can to be able to at least get as many orb fragments as you possibly can. But once again, for my method to work the best, you need to be able to clear off the hard campaign. So once the hard campaign has been cleared, which also side note, if you are someone where your energy refresh drops in an hour or two before game reset on Friday, do not claim that energy. If you wait until after game reset to claim that energy, you will get an extra 80 energy for this event campaign. Just FYI, some of you guys will fall in that bubble. But anyways, once you have all the hard campaign cleared, you want to start with the hardest node. That gives you the most amount of orb fragments. Actually, the last three give you the most amount. But start there, auto complete that to completion. Do not use cores to refresh a node. I've done a video in the past showing you guys the math of how this is not effective at all. And it does not give you more orb fragments if you compare to just going down the line, not even close. So anyways, so fully farm. Once that's complete, fully farm. Once again, no cores to refresh the node. And then once you keep going down and you run out of campaign energy, you will use your 50 core refreshes, and this is for every day going forward, 4 times. So it's 200 power cores you need per day for this campaign to guarantee yourself a 4-star character. But you also need to make sure your campaign energy never goes full, and you claim the free energy you get for the entire, hopefully, 15-day period. Every once in a while, they run it a day shorter. If you do that, you are guaranteed to get a 4-star. There is no way you can fail. If you fail, you didn't do something I explained in this video to make that perfectly clear. I know what the average drop rate is, and I even know what the worst RNG drop rate is, and you cannot miss. Now, if you want to gamble and push for a possible 5-star Deathpool for free, once again, you need power cores saved up. Like I said, I don't know how much you earn a day, so I'm going to throw out the number 4,000. You want to have that saved up, and you can choose to do as many 100s as you want, but my favorite method to do is to do the 100 core refresh twice. And that typically in a 15-day period ends me with about 50 to 51 orbs to open up for Deathpool in this example. And that's enough. If I can get above the average drop rate on Deathpool, I will get myself a 5-star Deathpool for free. I have plenty of videos on my channel. There's a playlist that is just orb openings of event character campaigns showing you guys what the drop rates are like. You guys can see the ones that I was successful on, the ones that I failed on, if you want to get a good idea of what that gambling's like. Once again, it takes a lot more power cores, an extra 200 a day to do that. And you could spend up to an extra 4 100 core refreshes if you really want to do so, which will take even a lot more cores saved up. And yes, since I didn't explain this video, if you're going to do the 100 core refreshes, you're going to completely, if you did everything I said in this video with your 50 core refreshes, you'll farm this entire hard campaign. You just want to switch down to medium with the hardest node and just farm down from there. Now, if you're someone like, I just want to go crazy and get Deathpool as much as I possibly can, I'm going to spend the 200 core refreshes. Don't do it. Absolutely do not do it. I did a more of a breakdown in another video previously. So if you want to do the 200 core refreshes, don't do it here. This is where you want to do it. Right here, just spend 500 cores and pop open this orb. Because 500 core, if you're doing 200 core refreshes, you're not even going to get a half an orb with 600 power cores in the event campaign. Just pop this open. It's going to be a gamble if you get Deathpool in the middle or not, but it's a more effective way of using your cores. So if you have a stockpile and you're planning on going crazy, past the 100 core mark, please, just spend them here in this orb. You'll get a better return for your investment. One more thing I want to point out before we move on to the characters with a devoted trait you need to use for the hard campaign. If you're someone like, oh, I was going to do the campaign and see how many cores I have left over, don't do that. Once the event campaign goes live on Friday at game reset, this core price tag goes away. You cannot spend cores to open this orb. You have to make the decision now before the event goes live. But with that said, let's get into the characters. So if you're new here and don't know how to do this, if you're in your roster screen and you need to find the characters that are viable for this event campaign, you just want to scroll down, find the devoted trait, there we go, and then all the characters you can use are right there. I'm going to scan through these real quick, but honestly, I'm going to go through the best 10 characters I can see you could possibly use, but does not mean if you have a character built up on this list that I do not name that they are not capable of doing this mission. So recommendations, if you're someone who's been collecting the new characters, now I know early free-to-play players may not have most of these characters, but once again, if you're around for Sharon Carter, possibly around for Phyla-Vell, you should have those 2 characters. And if you could synergize with some of the other teammates, if you're free to play and you cleared off the last battle pass, strike pass, sorry, you will have Sam Wilson for Sharon Carter and Sam Wilson. So there is possibilities here. You have some of these really good characters that synergize well and have the new power creep in this game. Next 5, some legendary Shuri and Magneto with Red Skull, Hela, and Thor. Probably the best next level tier. Once again, some of these characters I know are pretty late game or legendary that some early game players won't have. Red Skull. If you have access to Red Skull, there are also 2 Hydra minions that are viable for this mission. If you pair Red Skull with those 2 Hydra minions, they get knocked out, he'll revive them. That's not a bad combo if you do have access to that. And once again, these are just my 5. Other characters are viable, but they're probably going to need more investment than these characters to survive and complete the campaign for you. But one of the best things about early game content is that the healer ISO is one of the best things to put on all 5 characters, as it tends to carry the power level of that content. So anyone who's done any kind of early game content has put healer on every single one of their characters have seen that this actually carries. It doesn't carry in the late content, but it does carry in the early content. So one of the reasons why I always recommend this method is not only you can get these event campaign characters, newer characters that tend to have the newer power creep in mind that tend, most cases more than not, are important in the future of the game. But besides that, there are characters in this orb that help you save resources, especially as an early and mid-game player. But first off, characters you cannot get in this orb, sadly, it's the Secret Avengers and Infinity Watch. I think this is more intentional. Normally, at least the Infinity Watch characters would be in this orb at this point, but I think they leave them out because they are so meta. Knowing that people are probably still willing to spend on these 2 characters and give it away for free at this point is probably not in their best interest. It is what it is. And before I go, also Magneto Shuri, obviously not in this. Toons that you can use for legendary unlocks. So yes, this can help you unlock a legendary if you get one of these characters other than Deathpool that pop out of this orb. You got Cyclops, Colossus, and Beast could help you unlock Magneto. Cable, Deadpool help you unlock Doc Ock. Rocket, Groot, and Drax, who I honestly don't recommend you farm anymore for anybody, can help you get Star-Lord. And then Thor and Hela can help you get Black Bolt, and Hela can also help you get Phoenix. And if you're an early game player and you're still struggling to get through the level 70 content, or maybe you're not even there yet, 3 characters that are locked behind level 70, Colossus, Hela, and Red Skull, also available in this orb. And then one of my favorite things, the characters that save you on credits. Now, as a new and mid-game player, most likely you are behind on just collecting characters and getting shards on characters overall. And what a better way to save you on raid credits, war credits, and arena credits than this orb if these characters happen to drop out other than Deathpool. You have Call Obsidian for the war credits. In the arena, you have Scarlet Witch, Corvus Clave, and Deadpool. And then on the raid credit side, which I'm going to call this the raid special, we have Rocket, Thor, Namor, Cyclops, and Hydra Grenadier. And once again, trying to get many characters unlocked, especially in the early game player, is the best way to build blitz teams. Like, you don't really want to invest in them. You guys can go and follow me on Twitch if you want to, and I can explain to you more, but you don't really want to invest in them a lot, just enough to be able to win the lower tier levels to help get your score going. And then finally, exclusive characters, Calling Wing and Misty Knight are both in this orb that are currently unfarmable in the game. So hopefully after all that, as a new and mid-game player, you guys can understand why these event campaigns, not just because of the character, but in general, are very, very important to your growth and development in this game, as the drop rates are a lot better than spending core refreshes on campaign nodes. And that's regular campaign, not event campaign. Hopefully you guys got that. But anyway, guys, if you guys enjoy these tips and tricks videos, do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here and haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. And if you do not want to miss any other video on my channel, don't forget that notification bell. With all that said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.